Despite a rocky start so far this year, the information technology sector has historically remained one of the best performing sectors in the stock market. In fact, looking into the S&P 500 sector returns since 2007 all the way until 2021 by sector, you'd notice how the information technology sector has been the best performing sector with a cumulative return of over 900%. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about best information technology exchange traded funds that allows investors to take advantage of this sector through investing passively in high quality exchange traded funds. We're going to be talking about 9 specific high quality ETFs. A majority of them are in US dollars, but we have a couple of bonus ones at the end that focus in ETFs in Canadian dollars. Let's get into it. The very first ETF for us to review is the Technology Select Sector SPDR fund with ticker symbol XLK. XLK is available in US dollars and it has an expense ratio of only 0.10%. This fee indicates that if, for instance, you invested $10,000 in XLK, you'd be paying only a fee of $10 in 1 year. XLK has $42.6 billion in assets under management. It does pay a very low distribution yield that is paid quarterly with an annual yield of 0.8%. Majority of the focus here, of course, is in growth, and XLK seeks to provide a precise exposure to companies from technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals, software, communications equipment, semiconductors and semiconductor equipment, IT services and electronic equipment, instruments, and components. This fund has been incepted since December 16, 1998. And if you look at the past 5-year return, it is showing a cumulative return of 153%. Just remarkable. Next, our second pick here is another ETF in US dollars, and it is no other than Vanguard Information Technology ETF, the ticker symbol VGT. It does pay a distribution yield of 0.72% and it has a similar expense ratio of only 0.10%. In terms of assets under management, we are looking at $57.8 billion, and the distributions here are also paid on a quarterly basis. VGT includes stocks of companies that serve the electronics and computer industries or that manufacture products based on the latest applied sciences. This fund was incepted back in January 26, 2004, and it is showing to be up by close to 155% in the past 5 years. Our third pick here is First Trust Nasdaq Technology Dividend Index ETF, the ticker symbol TDIV. TDIV seeks investment results that correspond generally to the price and yield before the fund's fees and expenses of an equity index called the Nasdaq Technology Dividend Index. It was incepted back on August 13, 2012. It has an expense ratio of 0.50%. In terms of assets under management, we are looking at $1.74 billion. The distributions here are paid on a quarterly basis, and as the name suggests, it is focused more on dividend and from paying information technology stocks. Hence, it has a higher distribution yield of close to 2%. In the past 5 years, TDIV is showing to be up by 71.45%. Our fourth pick is iShares US Technology ETF, ticker symbol IYW, which seeks to track the investment results of an index composed of US equities in the technology sector. It has an expense ratio of 0.41% and has $7.28 billion in assets under management. It does pay its distributions quarterly and has an annual distribution yield of 0.30%. The inception date for IYW goes back to May 15th of 2000, and over the past 5 years, this ETF is up by 150.8%. Next, on the fifth spot, we have Fidelity MSCI Information Technology Index ETF. As it's an index fund, it has a lower expense ratio of only 0.08%, and it is in US dollars. With $5.8 billion in assets under management, FTEC seeks to provide investment returns that correspond before fees and expenses generate to the performance of the MSCI USA IMI Information Technology Index. Its inception date goes back to October 21, 2013. In the past 5 years, this fund is up by close to 148.5%. In terms of distribution yield, we are looking at 0.79% for FTEC. Moving on the sixth spot, we have ProShares S&P Technology Dividend Aristocrat Fund, TDV. It focuses on the S&P Technology Dividend Aristocrats, which are well-established technology-related companies that have consistently raised their dividends for at least 7 years. Given that here the focus is a little bit more on dividend combined with growth, you're looking at an overall return here since inception that is showing to be close to 42.4%. Given that this fund was incepted back in November of 2019, it is around for less than 5 years, close to 2.5 years, and the 42+% is the return since the inception date for that. In terms of assets under management, we are looking at $1.3 billion, and the distributions are paid on a quarterly basis. The annual distribution yield is at 1.36%, and in terms of expense ratio for TDV, we are looking at 0.45% in fees. Next, on the seventh spot, we have another US dollar ETF. It's Global X Funds MSCI China Information Technology ETF, ticker symbol CHIK. It is a targeted play on the information technology sector in China, which is the world's second largest economy by GDP, and it seeks to invest in large and mid-capitalization segments of the MSCI China Index that are classified in the information technology sector as per the global industry classification system. The inception date for CHIK goes back to December 7th of 2018, and if you look at it, the return since the inception, which is just shy of 5 years, is showing to be close to only 17.5%. Assets under management here is at 17.9 million, and the distributions are paid semi-annually. The distribution yield currently here is at 1.31%, and the expense ratio is at 0.65%. On the eighth spot, we have a Canadian ETF, iShares S&P Toronto Stock Exchange Capped Information Technology Index ETF, with an expense ratio of 0.61% and assets under management of $421.5 million. The distribution yield here is minimal, only at about 0.04%. In terms of the inception, XIT was incepted back in March of 2001. It seeks long-term capital growth by replicating the performance of the S&P Toronto Stock Exchange Capped Information Technology Index net of expenses. In the past 5 years, it's showing to be up by close to 116%. Lastly, on the ninth spot, we have another Canadian index ETF, TD Global Technology Leaders ETF, with ticker symbol TEC. It seeks to track the Solactive Global Technology Leaders Index or any successor thereto, an index that is calculated by Solactive AG, which tracks the performance of securities of global, mid, and large capitalization issuers that are related to technology. Its inception date goes back to May of 2019. Over the past time frame since its inception, it is up by close to 58%. TEC has an expense ratio of 0.39% and has $1.25 billion in assets under management. Well, there you have it, folks. A quick look into 9 high-quality exchange-traded funds that allows investors to invest in the information technology sector and get exposure to this lucrative, high-performing sector. I hope you found this video beneficial and gained something of value from it. If you did, please don't forget to smash that like button and share this video with someone else who might benefit from it as well. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Here on Momentum Finance, we talk all about stocks and investing, including investing in real estate, growth stocks, and dividend stocks. We also talk about ways to reach financial freedom. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time.